So April is finally finished, so today I'm going to rank all 3 March movies I've seen and all 3 April movies I've seen. And the reason I am doing this is because I've only seen 3 March movies and I really wanted to do a ranking of them. But when the time came, it was way too far behind to do it. So then April came along, I went ahead and watched one movie. I still want to see one other, which is Better Nate Than Ever. But with that said, I really just wanted to do this video. So today I'm going to rank 4 movies. The 3 March movies I've seen and the 1 April movie I've seen. But before I do that, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below what is your ranking of all 3 March movies and the 1 April movie. You could just do the March movies, you can just do the April movies. It's whatever you want, but this is just my ranking. And with that said, let's get into this video. And last place is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Now, going into this one, I was expecting a fun little movie starring Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal, and some of that was that. I enjoyed some of the sequences where Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage are just hanging out together, but here's the thing. This movie is really boring. It starts out with these 2 people trying to make a movie, and that's interesting, and then it turns into a full action movie, and it's interesting, but none of it really works, and I was just sitting in the theater bored out of my mind. It's kind of just like a weird event of pacing. It sounds like a movie that my dad would just put on, and that's not a compliment, because sometimes the movies my dad puts on are kind of boring, and it's just something that I'm sitting in the theater, and I'm waiting for something to happen. The action isn't very good. There's some funny jokes, but overall, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is really boring and just not the movie for me. In third place is The Adam Project, and in a lot of ways, this is a really, really surprising movie for me. For a Netflix movie, this has really great emotions, really great performances, and surprisingly, really great visuals. This is potential to be one of the best movies of the year. The action choreography is great, and let's just talk about this cast. Sitting down, and I loved watching Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo's chemistry, and even the kid actors do good. This is a stacked cast, and the thing is, the script is not good. I probably would say this is my favorite movie of the year if we didn't just have this throwaway, mustache-twirling villain who is just introduced in this film to just have us a threat, and the threat doesn't really work. It's just honestly kind of disappointing because this movie has so much potential, and then we just have this villain that's just like not a threat at all, makes no sense in this story, and just completely just butchers what the potential this movie had. It's great when it's just a family drama. There's very great emotions. I can tell a lot of people get really sad over this movie and probably be one of the best movies ever made by Sean Levy and Netflix. But here's the thing. For me, it just got ruined by the kind of villain. It's still a great movie overall, but when we get the villain in here, it's just kind of like a throwaway. Our runner-up for this video is The Batman, a perfect Batman movie. Now, to me, it's not my favorite. The Dark Knight is clearly my favorite. But the thing is, this is definitely a perfect Batman movie. It's like the people who made this movie were like, yeah, people actually know who Batman is and the characters in the Batman universe, and so they just drop us in here with no introduction to any of the characters except that they are villains and this is Batman, and it's pretty awesome. This Gotham is a person in this movie. It's an entire world that feels felt in, and there's not a single movie I've ever seen that felt like this one. I've never ever felt like there's a world that's been as lived in as in this Batman movie. The action is great. The performances are great. Everything is great about this movie. And they made every character exactly like they are in the comics. In fact, Catwoman was a big worry of mine throughout this film, and she just had a great story arc that perfectly matched her character. The only thing I did not like about this movie is that they really didn't give Bruce Wayne anything. Originally, Batman's supposed to be like this genius billionaire, but he's actually dark on the inside. But in this one, it's just, oh, cool, he's dark, and anyone could be able to guess that he's Batman. But that's my only problem with this one. Matt Reeves crafts a perfect Batman movie, and even though it's not perfect in my opinion, as a Batman movie, it's definitely perfect. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a perfect Batman movie. But first place is Turning Red, a very surprising Disney Pixar movie. To me, I thought this movie was going to be a little cringe-inducing, little fun Pixar movie, and to me, it kind of touches on a few emotional things, and the story is pretty great story. I am a kid who has struggles with his mom quite often, and seeing this and her with her mom, it's kind of emotional in here, and it's my favorite Pixar movies are the ones that really just resonate with me. Not Soul, not anything else that have great emotions, period, but ones like Brave and this movie, where the emotions are great. Now, sure, I'm not a little girl going through puberty, but I mean, some of the other emotions are really great. And even though this film clearly has a bunch of problems, this film really just was a nice escapism with some great emotions thrown in there. One of my biggest struggles I have done this year was putting the new Scream movie ahead of this one on my list, because I just enjoyed this one so much, but I mean, I am a horror fan. But anyways, that is my ranking of all the March movies and all of the April movies that I've seen. I want to know your ranking down below, and while you're doing that, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below. What is your ranking of all the March movies and all the April movies? You can combine them, you can do them by themselves, you can do anything. But with that said, as always, please make sure to subscribe to join the Nerd Army. Peace out.